fighting for me, and keep showing your love and support.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Jen R. Hey, Robin. I was close to not coming on tonight, because I'm working tonight, and Pete canceled, and Linda's still not doing so hot. So I was gonna cancel actually and be like, I think I'm just gonna sleep some more because I have to work tonight. But I'm awake. I'm here, and yeah. Not much has. Well, I'm back. First of all, I took a week off because I had to go down to Phoenix and spend time with my niece. She had her open heart surgery, and everything went well as far as the surgery goes. Her heart's fine now. It's okay. I scheduled it, and I try to make it when I schedule something, unless I absolutely cannot make it. So, but unfortunately, what happened was that when Aspen got there, she picked up a virus while at the hospital, and now so she has, basically it's like a cold, but it's filling up her lungs with liquids, so they're draining them, and because of that, it just makes it a little bit more uncomfortable. And with the coughing, because she has to cough up all those fluids in her lungs, that hurts to cough right now because of where the open heart chest hurt. Hey, Cherie. So that's what's going on with her right now. Oh, her actual heart is fine. The doctor did what he had to do. He opened her up. He did what he had to do, and he came out, and the surgery was extremely successful. And he said, he told my friend Tina, her mom, that as of right now, it looks like her heart is functioning great, and it doesn't look like she'll need. I'll get to that in a minute, Jenna. Yeah, but they basically said that her heart probably won't need another surgery for a very long time, if ever. So that's fantastic news. Everything that they needed to do worked out. This is her third one in her life, open heart surgery. So, and no, she's not eating. She's got a I used to know the technical terms for this stuff when I worked in dietary, and it's been so long. She's got one of those tubes that goes down your throat, through your nose and down your throat. And so that's how she's getting nutrition right now, and she's on IV. She's on a feeding tube, yeah. And she's on a thickened liquid diet because she was aspirating. And like I said, she had tubes. They put tubes in her lungs to help drain the fluids that were building up in her lungs from the virus. And now she doesn't need those. Like, they took them out. I think they did an x-ray yesterday, and they said that there was still a little bit of fluid in her right lung, but they're hoping that it wasn't draining anymore, so they're hoping that her coughing it will help move that liquid out, because that's basically how they usually do it. How you usually do it when you cough when you're sick. But yeah, and as of right now, there's no timeline as to when she's going to be leaving the hospital. It could be a couple of months now because of this virus. They told me the name of it. I posted it on Facebook, so if you're following me on Facebook, then that's the virus that she has. And generally, a normal, I don't like to say the word normal, but like a generally healthy child without these complications would get over it in like a week. Hey, Roxana. But because she has this heart issue, and her immune system is so shitty because of the heart issue and because of having the major surgery. Anytime you have a major surgery like that, it really affects your immune system greatly. So is she walking around more? They are making her walk 2 or 3 times a day and making her sit up a few hours a day. Like, they're making her do that stuff. She wants to just curl up in a ball and you know what I mean? But they're making her do that. So she is walking around and she is recovering, and every day is a little bit better, but she's still, and I haven't posted any update on Facebook because nothing, like, I call her mom every day, like 2 or 3 times a day, now that I've been gone, and nothing's changed since I left. So nothing, which is not a bad thing. It's better than falling backwards, right? So right now they're just trying to help her get over this virus, basically. So we'll see. I can't go down this weekend because of work, because I'm actually, like I said, I'm working tonight, and then I have tomorrow off. But if I work tonight, then I'm just going to be sleeping all day tomorrow anyway. But I told her that next Friday, if I have next Friday off, like I normally do, then I'll go down Saturday and spend Saturday with them again. So that's kind of the plans with that. Yeah, that's part of, they say that's what helps move that because it's like when you're regularly sick, that's part of walking around, getting your lungs to breathe in deep and out. That helps because we all have fluid in our lungs, right? Like, it's, we do. And when you don't move a lot and you just are solitary, that's when you get sick. That's why they say with older people too, if they break a hip, if they're not moving around because they break a hip, then that's when they get pneumonia, and then it's bad, So yeah, she is very strong. She's probably one of the, like, she's been through more medical stuff than any adult I know. Let's just put it that way. And she's only 4 years old. She's turning 5 next month. So, but yeah, that's what's going on with Aspen. So I do thank everybody for, following her journey and for praying for her and sending her those pictures. I made an event on Facebook. She's been still so, like, sick from the virus. She had absolutely no interest of looking at anything right now. So, like I sat there with her and I tried to see, hey, do you want to watch this video somebody sent you? Do you want to look at this? And she just has absolutely no interest for that. So, oh, her mom is my best friend. That's, yeah. I think Tina is like my sister to me. So Aspen is not biologically my niece, but I call her my niece because Tina and I are such close friends. Like, she's my bestest best friend ever, and so I consider her kids my nieces. And I have another friend who's also one of my bestest best friends that I consider a sister too, and her two boys, I consider them my nephews. So, oh yeah, she'll be excited when she starts to feel better, and she'll look at that stuff. So I'm just letting you guys know she hasn't had any. She hasn't. Usually, what would happen is in the mornings, every morning, she would actually FaceTime me. So it was every morning for the last year or two, she would ask her mom if she could FaceTime me when I got home from work. And lately, like I said, she hasn't even been interested in doing that. She just wants to sleep and rest, which is good. Take deep breaths and move the ball up. Yeah, they have that for kids, but you know, kids don't like, so like they don't understand, like they don't get the gravity of the situation. So what, you know what the nurses do is they get bubbles and they give kids bubbles to, and then they have them blow bubbles and that's part of the breathing thing, because the ball thing, I mean, I guess you could try to make a game out of it, but the nurse was telling me, because that's what she was doing there, was, hey, blow some bubbles. And, you know, they got the bubble wand out and she was doing that. And the nurse was saying, yeah, a lot of kids just aren't interested in that ball thing. And so they'll do so then they'll bring, you know, one of those little dollar store bubble things, and they'll be all over that. I thought, well, that's smart. Yeah. So, but yeah, I talked to Brendan last Saturday. He sounded really good. Let's see. I'm excited to talk to him tomorrow. Oh, we have a food event coming up on the 30th. I believe it's pizza. And I just completely keep spacing to make that. So I'll make that. It's pizza. And let me check something too real quick. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into the schedule of things. What I could tell you that I can remember, he's getting a new tablet, which is really cool. His old tablet was 2 years old, and it wasn't charging very well. And now he's a group of supporters all got together, and they from another group, and they bought him a tablet, which I thought that was really cool. So, and he's really excited about that. So he should be getting that soon. I don't know who you are. Someone sent me a friend request. I don't know who they are. They've got a lot of followers, though. I didn't know can people. That's interesting. Anyway, sorry, I checked. I was looking at Facebook. Okay, let me do something. real quick. I want to check. So Monday coming up is going to be, I'm going to start reading and discussing from Anatomy of a False Confession, because we're so close to finishing that. And we finally caught up with that as far as the premieres go. So that series is done with. If you want to watch the last few episodes before the one coming up on Monday to catch up or to brush up on it. But we should be doing that. Today is the 12th. Okay, so tomorrow is not. I wanted to see if tomorrow was Popcorn Saturday. Pete said that he wasn't feeling too hot, so he had to cancel. So hopefully he's doing okay. I know he told me yesterday his ears were really hurting him, and I know he's got an ear issue, and I know when it gets hot and cold back and forth, I know that bothers his ears. So I'm wondering if that's what, but that's just my thought. I don't know if that's really why he canceled, but hopefully he does do better, and I wish him, good healthy vibes. And the pizza, let me look. Let me look at something else. That one. Okay. So he told me verbally, so I don't have. Yeah. I don't know. I think one of them is like a meat lovers, and the other one's like a cheese or something like that. I'll have to ask him again tomorrow when he calls. He told me, I just don't. I know there's 2 different types of pizzas. Maybe one was hamburger pizza. Yeah, I always miss Pete when he's not up here. Do you guys hear me okay, by the way? Like, am I coming in clear, or am I coming in choppy at all? The innocent killer. Okay, good. Okay. I'm just making sure. Yeah, the innocent killer was what that documentary was based off of. Yeah. I think they made a movie out of it too, didn't they? By Grispatch, yeah. The next book I want to read for everybody in this is I'm looking over at my books and I can't see them. There's 2 books that I got last couple of months ago about wrongful convictions and stuff like that I wanted to read here for you guys. So that's why I'm excited to get this book. I love this book that we've been reading from, but I'm excited to get it done with so I can move on to a different book for you guys. And I think you'll enjoy the books that I picked out too. And then yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I needed to bring up that I can talk about. I think Mondays I'm going to start posting in the working group and in our Facebook group. I'm going to post like a picture with something for us to tweet and or email Governor Evers, and we're going to start doing that every Monday. Just to try to get. Oh, speaking of which. Oh, okay. So my friend Tina just posted an update of Aspen. Aw. Oh, the little poor thing is bruising so bad on her chest right now. It's teensy bitsy. It's see bitsy teensy weensy progress. In true Aspen style, she moved down to 9 liters of oxygen and appears to be feeling a little better. No more chest tubes. Yay, Aspen! Yeah, she was on 10 liters. That was part of the problem of, so she's on 10 liters of oxygen, or she was on 10 liters of oxygen, which means that's the max amount of oxygen that you can get. And she, so she was on 10 liters, and she was still, only at her oxygen level. So your oxygen blood level, it's supposed to be at 100. Basically, between 100 and 90 is the range that people. But Aspen's normal for the longest time was a 70s. You know, and that's not good at all. That's awful. But that's her normal. And you know, so when she got it, when she went to the hospital, she before her surgery, the doctor, you know, they did her blood oxygen level and it was at 75. And then after the surgery, when she came out, she was at 90. Like, that's how necessary that surgery was for her. Like, because then her oxygen, like, immediately perked up. And yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, so, you know, now, but because she got this virus, it's been teetering between 80, you know, 80, like in the 80s, which isn't good either. But, and she's on, so they've been keeping her on 10. Even with 10 liters, she's on 80, which is awful. So that's part of the reason why, until her oxygen gets better and she knocks this flu or cold or virus or whatever it is, she's not getting out. So yeah, because of her breathing. Oh yeah, once I was telling Tina that too. Like, once she kicks this virus, I guarantee you she's gonna start really, like, feeling a lot better. And but like I said, the good news in all of this is that her heart's fine. Not, I mean, it's fine. Like, it's healing. Her incision is healing. You know, so the heart issues are looking pretty good. It's right now it's her breathing and her oxygen level. So what was I saying about Brendan? I should call this Positively Aspen Friday. No, but Brendan, what was I saying about Brendan? Oh, what news did I have about Brendan? Other than the tablet and, oh, Mondays, I'll be posting something for us to tweet or email to Governor Evers. We'll try to do that on Mondays if I can remember. It's all based on if I can remember. Pizza. Yep, he's getting pizza on the 30th. I'll ask him what pizza it is again, and I'll make it a food event for us. Yeah, and he sounded really good and happy last time I talked to him. So yeah, and just trying to keep positive and keep moving forward with things. And I still got some stuff I got to do. I have a bunch of postcards going out. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm very proud of that video. Thank you everyone that gave me pictures to include in that. I tried my very best to get as many of those pictures that you sent me. The goal was to try to make it, first my goal was I need to make this video like a minute long. And then once I uploaded every single picture you guys sent me, it was 10 minutes. So I was like, well darn. So then I adjusted it. Thank you, Robin. Thank you for sharing that stuff. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. And but once I started to adjust it and I started moving photos around, and that's why people have multiple photos on different pages, because I was trying to skim it down. And then I found that song, which I thought was perfect song for what I was going for. And then the goal was to make it as long as the song, which was like 3 minutes and 22 seconds. And so then I still was going through everything, but either way, we did it. It's done, and I do apologize if there was pictures I couldn't use. A lot of people sent me some really great stuff, and but I couldn't use some of the pictures because of copyright reasons. The main thing is that if I can't reach out to the person and ask them permission to use their photo, then I really don't want to use their photo, because copyright, like they could literally come on and strike my channel, which, you know, is fair. You know, you can't use, you know, things that, you know, so that's part of the reason why I had to create that video too, was also because the song at the end, we all love that song, the original song. Hey Jinx, we all love the original song, like I love it, but unfortunately it's not copyrighted friendly on here. So the song that I did pick was copyright friendly. It's free to use. So yeah, that's what I did. And if anybody out there, if you hear me, and I am using a picture that I'll do my best from this moment forward. If you point out a picture from something from 2 years ago, also I just want to point out, like, if we were friends at one point and you gave me pictures to put up and now we're not friends anymore, you still gave me permission to put it up. So I'll do my best to honor everybody's wishes, but there has to be some sort of you know what I mean? Like, I can't bend over backwards for everybody, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm just trying to make my videos a little bit more accessible and copyright friendly. So basically, I wish you could play music on here, and I wish you could use that one song by Rachel, whatever her name is, that we used to end the song on, but unfortunately YouTube. And then there were pictures in that video that a certain somebody has already made copyright claims to, that I just don't want to mess with anymore. Like, I just don't want to, yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want to tell her name because she kind of wanted to keep it anonymous. But if you guys are in Brendan Talks group and you saw the post, she posted some pictures. Oh, I agree. That's why I just want to, like, That's why I just want to just make a new video and just be like, you know, whatever. Anyway, that lady, she went to Madison 2 days and stood out in front of Governor Evers with a sign. She sent me some pictures that I'm going to send to Brendan. I'm going to ask her if I could make a little video out of them or something, but I was just like, so we were messaging each other the whole time while she was out there, and I was just so incredibly proud, and just like, I don't know, like I was so, see, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, you know. It's just, even if you're just one person and you go out and you do something like that, it makes a difference, you know. And yes, is it is it good to have like thousands of people show up to Governor Evers' office and do that? Yeah, absolutely. You know, I wish we could gather thousands of people and do that, but unfortunately, we just never been able to accomplish that. But you know, even just one person though, standing out there with a sign and making their voice heard, that makes a difference. And I'm so excited to tell Brendan about it tomorrow. And I'm so excited to send him those pictures she sent me, because I know that's really gonna just be like, that's so cool. You guys have no idea how happy I am about that, and a little jealous. Not jealous. What's the right word? I wish I could have been there with her, standing there next to her. You know, unfortunately this year, you know, more things came up that I needed to put my attention on, like Aspen. So I don't regret that. Yes, yeah, exactly. You never know what government official might be walking around that day. What anybody could be doing. Yeah. So that's so cool that she did that. Yeah, I've been to rallies where there's just me and the other person. Where in California, when we did like a world rally, we did a world rally one year where multiple cities in the world did rallies at the same time in different locations, and I went to one in Sacramento, and it was just me and the lady who threw it. Like, nobody else showed up. That was okay. You want to hear an interesting story? Jinx, somebody last few days ago went to Madison and just stood there with a sign saying "Free Brendan Dassey," but she was anonymous when she was posting in our group. I know who it was, but I don't want to. I think she wants to kind of like keep her anonymity about it, which is fair. These days, you don't know. But okay, so here's a funny story, right? So this is 2017, and we're planning this worldwide rally, and so here's some. This is how long ago this was. So me and the person who was arranging the rally originally, her name was on here, Carla Garcia. And if Jinx may know who that is, because she's an OG, but she hasn't been on in a long time. She hasn't been active online in a very long time, but she used to go by Carla Garcia. Yep, you know her exactly. She was when everybody was deciding that people were volunteering their city. So she is in California, so she volunteered. I'll do a rally in Sacramento. There was somebody who did a rally in Madison. There was somebody who did a rally in Boston. There was somebody, you know, all over the country. Different people were saying, well, I'll go to Washington, D.C., right? So the plan was is that we all had a rally at the same time on the same day. Even in London, I believe, they tried to arrange it to where it was. I don't think they did it at the same time because obviously of time differences. If we're out here at 8 a.m., they would be like 5 p.m., right? So they couldn't do it like that. But it was pretty cool, right? So it felt like everybody around the country was uniting. It was so long ago, 2017. So one of the slides, I believe, in the video that I just did earlier that I'm going to play at the end of this is me and Carla Garcia out in front of her thing with all the signs me and her made, and it was just me and her. But anyway, so while she's planning this chick, we're in this rally group, I think, or maybe it was in the original family group. But this chick was messaging me, and she was also like going to be there, and she wanted to do this and she wanted to do that, and I was just like, look, I'm not the rally organizer. I'm just a peon. You know, I'm offering to bring water and whatever else you guys need me to bring, like flyers or whatever. But you know, I'm not making these decisions. You need to talk to Carla Garcia. And the person just kept trying to take control, and she wanted to call the media and all that, which was fine. There was nothing wrong with that. But she was trying to take control over this rally that wasn't hers to take control over. Anyway, long story short, it turned out that was Lynn Hartman. You all know Lynn Hartman. That was Stephen's fiance after Sandy during Making a Murder 2, the one that went on Dr. Phil. And she never showed up to the rally. She never went to the rally. I never seen her do anything supportive for Stephen. Even before she became his fiance, she made this big giant ordeal and drama for Carla Garcia in the rally. You know what I mean? She caused all these issues and hurt and headaches, and didn't even show up to the rally. Didn't even show up. And then next thing you know, I turn around and there's this, and then she was Stephen Avery's fiance. And I thought it was funny because I was just like, do I know her from somewhere? When I saw her, when they made the announcement, and I was looking, because I'm not a name person, I'm a face person. So when I saw her face with Stephen in their first picture, yeah, she was hoping to get her 15 minutes of fame. That's what she wanted. But when I saw her, I was just kind of like, I swear I know her from somewhere. Where do I know her from? And then it was like a year, not joking, like a year later, Carla Garcia was telling me, Lynn Hartman, blah, 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 blah. Don't you remember when she did this? I was like, oh, yeah. Well, wait, that was Lynn? She was crazy, even before she became Stephen's fiance at the time. But yeah, I actually interacted with her she was trying to get Carla Garcia to, she was trying to gain control over the rally in California and kick Carla Garcia to the side. So then that way, I think she could use the rally as some sort of way to but then she never showed up. It's like, here's my thing. If you support the guys, no matter who shows up to the rally, you should still go to the rally, because at the end of the day, it's about the guys, right? So I don't care if I'm trying to think of somebody that there's not a lot of people that I dislike, or let's say Madison, let's say I was going to say Hitler, but I don't think that's a good example. Hold on. Somebody out there shows up to Madison at the same rally. I'm still going to be like, okay, well, I'm here too. There's plenty of rallies I went to where the people there don't like me, and we got along just fine. Hey, William. Because it's not about that. It's about showing up and being there for Brendan, right? So, you know. Yeah, there have been plenty of people that I showed up at a rally and stood next to with a sign that they hated me and I didn't care for them, and it's fine. But I'm not going to not go to a rally just because somebody and I have an issue, because we're both grown adults, and we're not going to, it's not like we're going to have like a fist fight or anything. No, like we're all like adults here, and all of our goals are the same. So, shoot, Lynn Hartman, even back then, even back then, if Lynn Hartman showed up to that rally, I still would have stood there next to Lynn Hartman. I would have been like, "You're a little cuckoo." That's not. You should know. You should know. You should, like, in my opinion, especially if you were trying to be the fiance, you should still show up to a rally. But that's my opinion on Lynn Hartman. She got crazy eyes. Bottom line, that is where I stand. I'm here. Yeah, that's the thing. You're here for, you're here to do what's right for Brendan and Steven. That's what I'm here for. But anywho, I'm kind of bummed. I'm going to end this soon because there's not really, now we're just gossiping about Lynn Hartman. And Teresa, yes, and Teresa. But that I was just that there's going to be a picture in there. You'll see me and her sit kind of like kneeling in front of her display stuff for the rally that in Sacramento. That was just me and her. She brought her nephew and daughter, but they were in the background, playing around. And that's a good question. I don't know until it comes out, I guess. I've seen there's a few people that I'm interested in. So I do want to say, Brendan and Steven do not want us to watch Convicting a Murderer, because obviously it's going to be propaganda against them. I know a lot of us are probably planning on watching it just to see. I'm planning on watching it because I want to disprove how can I disprove something if I don't know what's being said? So I know some other researchers are going to be watching it just so that we can disprove things. And I think that's basically what, but I do want to say that I know Brendan and Steven have both said, and Brendan in the past has me. It has been a very long time since, so this was like 5 years ago when they started making it. Brendan said to me that he didn't want his people involved in it, and what he meant by involved in it was that at the time they did an open casting for if the supporter wanted to interview, and I mentioned it to Brendan, and he said he doesn't want his people, i.e. people like me, who he considers his people, to watch, or not to watch, but to be in it. So I respected his wishes, and not that I would. I think there was somebody else that I thought was going to do it, but they just, because of that. Ooh. But, obviously we're all adults here, and, my thing is if somebody isn't paying your bills, then, I mean, you all can do whatever you all decide to do, what you all feel is right to do. I'm just letting you know that. I know Steven recently. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So a bunch of people were being reached out to interview for this thing back then. And some people, took it up, and some people didn't. And but I think the only reason why I would want to watch Convicting is so I could disprove, because we all know that it's going to be BS, and that it's just going to be it's propaganda. It's anti-Stephen and Brendan propaganda. Now, right, yeah. They're probably just going to twist their word, or the people who did decide to interview, they're probably just going to twist those words anyway. So anything you see in that documentary, it would be complete bullshit in my opinion. I wouldn't trust that documentary with anything of the facts, quote unquote. Like even recently, that Candace chick did like a video, you know, talking about you know, giving like a, oh, I'm gonna be involved in this documentary, and it's gonna be about Stephen Avery, and within like the first 2 minutes, she's like already spewing the wrong facts about Stephen's first case in 1985, where they're like, oh yeah, it's when he was convicted of murder. No, he wasn't. So you can't even get the first 2 minutes of this right. It gives me no faith that anything in this. 40 seconds in, yeah, 40 seconds in. So I can't. It's gonna be, to me, it's gonna be nothing but a pile of poo emoji. That's all it's gonna be to me. But unfortunately, he was exonerated of murder. Oh, then the murder victim what, like came back to life because she's still alive, Candace. Anyway, unfortunately though, the problem is that anytime you have something go out there like that, hey Dawn, hey Jennifer, and you have to then present the real facts. So now that we're going to have this thing that we're going to have to fight against, because, you know, all the guilters or people who don't research these things are going to watch it and be like, but he was convicted of murder at first in 1985. No, he wasn't. So that's what my thing is that I wanna make sure, like, I wanna sit there and watch it and take notes, and then make videos to disprove to what they're doing, because it's gonna be a false narrative. It's disgusting and gross, and I'm actually really, you know, in the beginning he made it sound like, well, this is gonna be something where it's gonna have like all the stuff that was missed. So it's going to be a non biased piece, because, you know, Making a Murder was so biased. How is it biased, by the way? And who was the good guy in Making a Murderer other than Stephen and Brendan? And even then, Making a Murderer, you know, talked about Stephen the way Stephen was. That's why a lot of people bring up the cat thing, because they brought up the cat thing in it, right? You know, I'll tell you this, and this is straight up the truth. I thought when I first watched Making a Murderer, no, that's exactly what I would tell Brendan. When I first watched Making a Murderer, I was all over the place. I was literally all over the place. One episode I was like, oh my god, Stephen's innocent. And then the next, you know, episode or two, I'd be like, oh my god, is he guilty? And then the next episode, I'd be like, oh my god, he's innocent. Like, I was all over the place, because to me, it was just talking about, it was quick rundown of facts. There was a lot of things the documentary did miss. You know, I'm not saying it was perfect, because I think if you tried to get every single fact together and then put it in a documentary, you would have like 5 or 6 seasons of it, because there's just so much information. But I think they did the best they could with what they had to make it down to 10 episodes. But yeah, the only time I was 100% like, this guy's innocent, was Brendan. When Brendan showed up, the way they set it up was, but on episode 4, when Brendan showed up, they were like, and then, you know, we have this nephew who came up and said, you know, he hears the story with him and Stephen committing the murder, and instantly I was like, oh my God, I'm so angry at Stephen for doing this to this poor child. But then literally 2 seconds later, you see Brendan being interviewed, right? You see Brendan being interviewed, and then it becomes like really clear that this kid had absolutely no idea what was going on around him, that he, you know what I mean? Like, instantly when you started to hear Brendan talk, you knew that this kid was innocent and that he didn't do anything. That was the only time in the whole entire documentary that I was just like, no, that he is innocent. You know, and like I said with Steven, I believe Steven now is innocent, so don't get me wrong. But in the documentary itself, I was on the fence with Steven. And it took me actually researching the case and looking at everything for me to finally be like, okay, this guy is definitely innocent too. Yeah. And I think that's what makes Making a Murder a good documentary, because it doesn't just give you one-sided facts. It did give you everything that they possibly could. And like I said, there was a lot they left out. There really was a lot they left out. So I wasn't against the idea of having another documentary with more facts on things and giving more background on people, and I'm all supportive of people like Ken Kratz and Tom Fassbender sitting down and giving an interview on their thing on it, because my opinion is that they're full of shit anyway. So if you get an interview with them spewing their shit, then we could pick that apart and definitely disprove that what they did to Brendan and Steven was, you know, bad. I wish they were in Making a Murder and gave interviews. So how did I finally become friends with Brendan? So 2015, December 2015, I watched Making a Murderer. I binge watched it when I was home. I lived in Prescott Valley at the time, and I came out here to Payson, and I was spending a couple of days out here with my parents during Christmas. I didn't watch it when it came out on the 18th, and but I watched it the week of Christmas, and I binge watched it in like 3 or 4 days. I think there's a lot of reasons why he had stopped talking. And then by January, I was just like, I couldn't stop thinking about the documentary. I was at work, and my coworker at the time also watched Making a Murderer, and she was just like, and that's all we talked about at work was Making a Murderer. And then she said we should write to them. Also, I just want to point out, I didn't know what a Facebook group was or anything like that until Making a Murderer, because my friend added me to the First Family Facebook group, and I had no idea that Facebook groups were even a thing in 2016. Had absolutely no idea about that kind of stuff. So it was the very first group I've ever joined was that First Family group. I was so confused about what a group was. And but it was really cool to like see like other people, and then one day at work my work friend was like, we should write to Brendan and Steven. And I thought, nah, they probably get tons and tons of letters, and I don't want to bother them, was my attitude. I didn't want to bother them. But she talked me into it, and we both at work sat down and wrote a letter for Steven and Brendan. And the funny thing is that after work, I threw some stamps on it, and I dropped it in the post box. And she didn't. She never sent her letters. Even like I asked her, and that's the thing. Yeah, he wrote me back literally like a month or two later. I think it was March. So I think I sent my first letter in January, and I got my first letter back from Brendan in March. And when I came to work and I was like, oh my God, I got a letter from Brendan. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. I was just like, have you gotten anything yet? And she's like, oh, I haven't sent it. And I was just like, Laura, you said you were going to send it too. But yeah, that's literally, my first letter to Brendan was, it's just like, hey, this is who I am. I live out in Arizona and I watched your documentary and I can't stop thinking about it. And, you know, I believe you're innocent. You and your uncle, you know, seem to be innocent to me. And, you know, I'm in this group that looked like it was ran by family too, because they called it the family group. And, yeah. And I said, you know, I literally said, you don't have to write me back or anything. I just wanted you to know that I support you. And he wrote me back saying, write me back and ask me questions. So, and that's kind of where it went from there. And then he started calling me, and then yeah. And then 6 long years later, here I am. Has it been 6 or 7 years? 6 long years. Feels like it was 20 years ago. Because so much stuff has happened since then. There's been so many ups and downs, and so many awesome things about being a supporter. So many really awful things, like everything. There's good and bad, and there's been some really like horrific things that I went through as a supporter that shouldn't have happened, and then there were things that I, you know, went through that I shouldn't have done, or, you know, and it was all a learning experience, but it all brought me here, and now here I am at 4:30 p.m. Talking to you guys on a YouTube channel. So yeah, I appreciate you saying that, William. I get really like uncomfortable when people compliment me, and I don't know how to say that, but I do appreciate that, and I think we all are shining lights for Brendan, and I think if it wasn't for his support system, which is you guys, you wonderful supporters, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be, he wouldn't be, I think a lot of his positivity does come from you guys. So he is a very positive, wholesome person, who's just an amazing guy. If you ever get a chance to write to him, or if he ever does decide to call you or anything like that, you know, and you guys talk to him, you'd see it too. And he's just an amazingly positive guy, but I think he gets a lot of his strength and energy from us, which I think is why our jobs as supporters is really important, to keep positive and keep reminding him that we're here for him. We're not going anywhere. So, yep, just continue. You know, that's all. You know, that's the one thing I learned in all of this is, you know, I will say this, is that in the beginning, I thought I was a very I am who I am person, and I went through a lot of unnecessary bullshit and trauma. I mean, there's no way to put it. Trauma in this. Part of the reasons why I have to take a break is because of the trauma of being a supporter sometimes, but from other people. Brendan's perfect. It's from other people. But the one thing that all of this has taught me is that to find myself in a way that I've never found myself before. I am so very comfortable with who I am now, and if it wasn't for this journey, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. So you know, just keep being me, and that's all I can be. Just do what feels right, and you know, that's all you can do. I'm glad that we have that here for you guys, and I'm glad that we have this group. Then we all are like a little family in that Brendan is. I'm glad I can provide that for you, Robin. Hey, Audra. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna close off that nice speech of what I was saying before. We are, you know, our positivity is what helps Brendan get through his days and gives him something to look forward to. If you've already seen the video I posted or I uploaded, this is the new video that I created today with all the pictures that you all provided. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. Hi, Paul. Thank you everybody for stopping by. You all are awesome, and let's keep doing positive things for Brendan, and let's keep shining and doing what's right. And I hope everybody has a good day.
I don't know for how long I'll get to hold your hand, to be your guiding light in the darkest of nights. I will try to do my best until the day that I'll die. I won't lie, it's not going to be easy, but I'll try. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, and as long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. No, I won't back down. I know that we will fight and be too proud to say the other one was right. And one day you will leave and start your own family. I will try to do my best until the day that I die. I won't lie, it's not going to be easy, but I'll try. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, and as long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. No, I won't back down. As long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, and as long as my heart